Is this thing working, boss?
Looks great, Brad.
Hey, we're here in Maine making kelp kimchi with Bri. It's wonderful.
Looks so great.
Show me around town, yeah. Show me all the good spots. Local legend. Local legend.
Oh yeah, look at that thing, huh? Dang!
Seaweed. It's in more than you might realize.
God, it's gorgeous.
For a lot of us Americans, we only associate seaweed with miso super sushi, and most of the seaweed is coming from Asia. On this episode of Local Legends, we're headed up to the first commercially viable seaweed farm in the U.S., Atlantic Sea Farms. Their CEO, Bri Warner, is going to show us why seaweed is such a game changer. It's environmentally sustainable, it's creating jobs for local fishermen in Maine, and it's freaking delicious. Don't even get me started on their kelp kimchi.
That is so good.
We'll get out on the water with Bri, harvest some fresh Maine kelp ourselves, and then chat with some local fishermen who started growing kelp in their off-season and have quickly become the leading cultivators of seaweed in the U.S. So buckle up, put your life jackets on, pay attention, class. I'm gonna tell you why you should give a crap about kelp.
Ooh, hands get cold quick. I woke up, I had like a hard stomach bug, like,
Oh no.
feel great now. I wasn't even hungry.
I have a banana in the car. Do you want
No, I'm good, man. No bananas on the boat. Yeah, so that's your little backstory. We got into Portland yesterday. I was feeling good, I was cold. You know when you're like fighting something that chills in your bone and it just doesn't get out. Anyway, we went and had a really nice lunch, went and had a couple beers, got back, we checked in. Things just weren't going well for old Brad here. Started getting cold sweats, started throwing up. And I tell you what, I feel like $1 million today, big surprise. I thought we were gonna be calling Bri and being like, can we go tomorrow? Brad's throwing his guts out. But I didn't eat anything, had a couple spoonfuls of rice and a little Pedialyte. Got a little 1-2 punch in me. We'll see how it goes. Maybe I'll be chumming in an hour. I don't think so though, I feel pretty good. We're here at Casco Bay. We're meeting up with Bri from Atlantic Sea Farms. We're gonna be digging in on how they grow sugar kelp. I got some really cool fish that we cured up with some miso and some shoyu. Oh no, we cut that out, sorry, that's a different episode. A little chilly, a little windy. This little center console gonna bring us out. We got the cap. Excited to see how they grow it. Excited to meet some of the farmers, get out in the water. Is that Bri in the Volkswagen coming in hot?
We've been trying to get you up here for years.
I know,
So
we just had
excited.
to do it here? Yeah. All right, just a little something.
Morning, Henry.
Oh, jeez.
Careful.
All right, Bri, thanks for having us
I
here.
am so stoked you're here.
Oh my God, thank you. We've been planning this for years, or at least talking about it for years
totally.
now.
You didn't get a flat, calm day. It's a little rough today. I'm glad you have your wet gear on.
Got it.
You're ready to rock. We're about 3 weeks from harvest season, 4 weeks from harvest season. We start planting the kelp in the fall, and now it's getting to the exciting time where we go out and check it quite a bit to see if it's the right length, how it's looking. There's about 6 farms down here that we work with, all owned either by fishermen or aquaculturists who are in mussel farming that use it as sort of a complementary income source.
Now for you watching at home, it's March, mid-March, cold, water's ice cold, about as cold as it gets probably, right,
Yeah.
for the most part.
Yeah.
And that's ideal, right? That's what you want in
It's
kelp.
perfect. So kelp really grows when the sun's out and when it's a little bit warmer, but we like kind of a low, slow growth through the winter. It keeps it clean. We do a lot of our products fresh. So the stuff that's coming in from Asia is all dried.
Sure.
It has to be.
It's gonna go bad.
Yeah, it's gonna go bad. It gets all fouled up. What we're doing is we're pulling it out of the clean cold waters of Maine where there's no fouling. It gives us the ability to use a fresh product. That is the first time it's ever been allowed in the market.
And you guys ferment a lot of it too, right? I've had a little bit of your kimchi and kraut. Man, I say this, I'm a fan of kelp, but like it's very easy to eat. Like it's very approachable.
Because it's sugar kelp, it's got that real mild taste.
Right.
But it also, because we're harvesting sort of a baby crop, you know, like a baby kale versus kind of that rough kale that you get in
it's
November.
still tender
that,
and snappy and probably nutrient dense.
Exactly.
Can we grab a little piece?
Oh, of course. We can eat it right off the farm.
Oh,
It's
fun.
delicious.
Oh, really? You can eat it raw, no problem.
Totally. It's like an oyster.
Exactly. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, very cool. I'm looking forward to trying it. Help me help you. Let's get the boat in the water.
Don't fall in.
I will try not to. Tall guy, but we got some high gunnels.
Exactly.
I'm good at leaning. Does this have to be buttoned by law? Does it loosen in the
Is
back?
that the smallest one we have? I mean, the biggest one?
Thanks, man. Yeah, perfect.
So I'll tell you a little bit about what you're you're looking at, right out here, what you're seeing off Portland is what they call the Calendar Islands. So it's a perfect place for growing kelp because it's hyper protected, no matter
From
what the
weather?
weather. So the open ocean is a little while out,
Yeah.
but we're still getting the movement of the ocean because it's not too
Big
far.
tides,
Exactly.
big winds.
So if you're not familiar with New England in the spring, the Atlantic Ocean is cold as hell.
Oh yeah, cruising now, bud.
So we're out on a boat and the wind is blowing.
Nice breezy day in Maine.
Luckily for me, I'm a planner. I was bundled up like a polar bear. Don't believe in bad weather, just bad gear.
I gotta get it.
How's the gang doing? Holy sh**. So we just pulled up. Tell me a little bit what we're looking at.
Yeah, so we work with fishermen to farm kelp.
You technically, do you own a farm?
None.
Right.
That's what we really focus on in our model is ownership model. So here in the Gulf of Maine, we have 4,000 plus lobster license holders. They're all owner operators of their own boats. You cannot be on your boat fishing if you don't have a license.
Amazing.
Most other fisheries in the United States,
Yeah.
like one guy who owns like 17
Sure.
boats.
Big
and a bunch of
monopoly,
guys.
yeah.
And a bunch of guys who break their back all day. These guys break their own backs. Right?
Well, you
Like-
know what? There's something to be said about that. When it's yours, there's no ceiling.
That's right.
And I love that. I mean, like, who wouldn't, right?
And they work for themselves, and they have their own boats,
They
and they
care
have their
more.
own destiny. Conservation minded. So, if a guy pulls out an egg-bearing female lobster, they have to cut her tail into
Clip
a
it,
notch,
right.
and then you can't catch her, and you can't sell her until that notch grows out.
Oh, is that it? Yeah.
That's right. So 10 of the best years have been in the last 15 for lobster, which
Amazing.
you don't see in any other fishery. But the Gulf of Maine is warming faster than 98% of oceans in the world.
Because of that shelf, right?
The current that's basically the Arctic ice melt is creating a situation where the bottom is super warm. What we're seeing is while this is really cold, we just got blasted, while
Right.
it's really freaking cold, this water is going to be so warm that lobster larvae are not going to be able to survive at the rate that they are.
Wow.
So no matter what we do from a conservation perspective, we're going to see the lobster population diminish significantly.
So how did that tie into you getting involved with growing kelp?
So I was working with the lobster fishery to think about ways we could help fishermen diversify. We have more coastline than the state of California, 4,000 plus lobster license holders that
Wow.
run their own businesses, that know the ocean better than anyone, and they're only fishing for one thing right now.
They got the boats, they got the license,
They got everything.
Yeah.
They got the knowledge.
they got the knowledge, and most
Right.
importantly, right, they
That's
know
right.
the water.
At the time, 98% of the seaweed that people eat in the United States was imported. No one knows where it's from, how it's
What
grown,
water it was grown in.
what water it was grown in,
Right,
and
'cause
it was only in dry.
It doesn't even look natural.
It doesn't. It's
No.
not. Like that green's not natural,
Right.
right? There's this incredible human capital, and there's this need to diversify.
Sure.
So I took over as CEO of this company who had started the first kelp farm in the United States.
Oh, no
called
kidding.
Ocean Approved. The whole country farmed, including Ocean Approved, 30,000 pounds in 2018.
Wow.
So we started working with fishermen. The first year we had 2 or 3 that were real They did it. They were
Sure.
skeptical. Then they made money. People saw that they could make it in their off season. People saw the diversification. This year we had 27 farmers. We landed over 1 million pounds.
Whoa. And it's all being utilized.
We grow the seeds. Then we give those seeds to the farmers for free.
Okay.
We help them pick their sites. We help them set up their farm. We have an entire team that's only there for technical assistance. We're not a nonprofit, but we want to make sure they're successful. They need to know someone's picking up, and we're the only buyers in the states of scale.
Sure.
So we guarantee that we'll buy everything that they grow, whether we know what we're doing with it or not.
That's amazing. And when you guys grow it out here, I mean, we can get into these grids that we're looking at. You don't have to water it.
Nothing.
You don't have to fertilize it.
Nothing. You basically put the seeds in, and then you, in part, cross your fingers. It takes a really good farmer to set it up right. The first year, farmers usually get 4 pounds a foot. By the 3rd year, people are getting 8, 9 pounds a foot
wow.
because they just know how to farm better. They're going to
get
check
better at
things
it,
out,
yeah.
keeping your lines straight. That's it. No water, no fertilizer, no pesticides. And then
Seems
we
like a
just go and
farmer's
check.
dream.
It is, and it removes carbon and nitrogen from the water column.
So I'm looking out here. It looks like a whole field of lobster buoys. What are we looking? What's going on
That's
there?
part of the point. It's beautiful, right? You can ride over it and not have any idea that there is 40,000 pounds of kelp under there.
It's incredible. So
So-
it's just a network of lines.
That's right. So it's moorings on each side. We have a 1,000-foot horizontal line,
Okay.
and then the seed spool is wrapped around that 1,000-foot line, hit real tight, and then it grows out from there.
Well, let's say, can we get into some of these grids and check out some of the kelp?
Let's go. Should I just cast this purple one?
All right, you're backed up on it, Cam.
The wind doesn't seem that much until you're trying to catch something.
Doing great, Cap. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, look at that.
There we go.
Oh wow, you can smell it, huh?
All right, so Brad, this is a
Yeah,
kelp
look
farm.
at that, huh? So that's all the kelp growing. The egg and the seeds you guys do are all inoculated on that line,
That's
right?
correct.
And how long has this been in the water since?
This line maybe like late November, right, Thu?
Oh, beautiful, huh?
Yeah.
Look at the color on it.
So what you're seeing is a month out from being harvested.
Wow, grows pretty quick.
Yeah, feel free to cut
Grab
some
a
off.
piece. Oh wow, huh?
Isn't that beautiful?
Look at that. God, it's gorgeous.
Yeah. So that's sugar kelp. We have two types of seaweed we grow here, sugar and skinny kelp.
Oh, and
you see
skinny
that
kelp's in
kinda
that
like-
thinner ribbon.
It's much more thin. You see that gorgeous color in the light there.
Yeah, look at that, Hobbs.
It's just a beautiful, beautiful product. This one looks clean too.
Yeah, it does.
So take a nice little chunk out of that with your teeth.
Yeah, I'll taste it.
Let that seaweed flag flow.
Wow, it's delicious. Super clean, tender. Has like a nice vegetal, but you can tell it came from the ocean flavor. No, it's really good. I thought it was going to be thicker.
Yeah, so this is still baby,
Okay.
you know, so
Oh, like you were saying
it
with the
has
kale.
about another month, but it will get thicker. But if we left it until July, August, it'd be
It'd be super thick.
chewy.
It'd be chewy. Cool. We're gonna grab a couple more pieces of the sugar kelp, and I'll throw them in the old Yeti cooler. You know, tomorrow when we do a little making it episode, show what you make, and I'd like to make you a little
Yeah,
something too. This is great. This is beautiful.
Look at these straight f***ing lines. Look at these straight lines. That's hot.
Yeah, get a shot of that.
That is hot.
Can we
Holy
roll on
sh-
that?
Hold on, Hobbs. Let me give me real quick.
There you go.
Yeah. You guys have the hardest job.
Yeah.
That's a good looking grid, guys.
Yeah, it is.
So each one of those colors and in that grid, in that buoy, are identification.
We can trace it to the bed
Harvest.
where we even got the seed tissue
Oh wow.
from.
Okay, cool.
And then what line it went out on, what tank it was grown in for the seeds in our facility.
Oh,
So
amazing.
it's like the ultimate traceability.
Trackability. Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Sounds like it's important too.
It is. We got to learn.
Yeah,
You know, we're the
yeah.
only ones doing it at scale, so
Get your own data.
you know we have to
Cool.
learn every year. This
Yes,
one,
chef.
one.
Coming on quick there, gang.
Nice skill.
Oh yeah, look at that thing, huh? Dang.
So you see the stipes here?
Is that this?
Super good to cut up. It's like chop it up
Whoa.
like a scallion.
Oh really?
Yeah,
You pickle them or anything, right?
you can.
You can, yeah.
Yeah. We don't grow 4 long stipes here. But certainly in Alaska, you know, those
That's
big
what I've seen,
bull
the bull
kelp.
kelp, yeah.
So if you want to cut it off right at the stipe,
Yeah, let me
Brad,
grab the knife.
You know, and just giving them
A little
yanks
pop.
like that.
look at that.
Yeah, beautiful, huh? Cap gotta have some cold hands.
He feels
wow.
nothing.
He feels nothing.
All of my
Nerves are damaged.
Shot.
Oh wow, huh? Gorgeous. And these are called stipes, you said? The root?
So the end part here, this is the hold fast.
Yeah.
That's literally what holds fast.
The anchor.
Line.
Yeah.
And the stipe, blade.
So how does it grow? Does it grow a blade or does it start as a stipe?
The cool thing about kelp is that every part of that is photosynthetic. Every part is contributing to its growth.
Even the stipe? No kidding.
Yeah.
Wow. That's kind of fascinating.
Yeah, terrestrial plants, you have to have a way of moving nutrients and water from underground up to the blades, up to the leaves.
Right. They're just little
In the water,
powerhouses.
you don't need that because you're surrounded by water, you're surrounded by nutrients.
Right.
So every cell in the entire
Is absorbing.
seaweed can contribute to growth.
That's incredible. I did not know that.
What we're holding there is 4 to 5 months old. And
Got bamboo beat.
yeah.
Look at that. Right into the Yeti.
So Brad, I think one of my favorite things to eat, to me, the most delicious part.
Really?
It's got this great snap.
Oh wow.
Isn't that great?
Oh my God, so much flavor.
It's so much flavor. It's so crunchy, dense, and I mean, look at that color. It does-
That is a gorgeous piece of kelp, huh? Oh wow. And this is just Atlantic sugar kelp.
Atlantic sugar kelp. All right, Brad, why don't you grab it? We think this is going to be a skinny kelp line. Let's see.
Skinny kelp?
Yeah.
So
You
what's
see
the
how-
differences?
Little sweeter,
Oh, okay, sure.
but it's also thicker, so it adds some more crunch
Ooh, I
to
kinda
our
like it.
seaweed salad.
So, you know, I couldn't help but the wonder too. I mean, you created a whole little ecosystem, like a kelp bed. It must hold bait fish and different species. It must be its own little reefy kind of little ecosystem.
There's evidence that there is some ecosystem services. We're working with the University of New England who has cameras under a few of the farms to
Oh,
kind
wow,
of
to see what's
understand
happening.
and monitor. And we're optimistic that there's some,
I can't be hurting.
and we know there's not negative because again, there's kelp farms all over
Sure.
Asia that have been there for 400 years. Bring in one of the most nutrient-dense foods on the planet that's making the planet better
Yeah, heck yeah.
and helping people diversify in the face of climate change.
Man, I have a hard time finding any negative in it.
Yeah, I mean, the only negative is I'm not out here in July on the water because it's out of the water.
I know.
I'm in Maine in February.
Yeah, you forget how quickly you'd be if you fell in the water.
2 minutes tops.
yeah.
The boat couldn't even get you in time.
Right.
That was a good one.
That was a good one, man. You must got brain freeze. Did you see her get blasted in the face or no? Like a bucket of water. She had to like spit water out. All right, we're good. Hey guys, thank you.
Yeah, we'll see,
yeah, we'll see you later, yeah.
Yeah.
Back on land, Bri introduced me to some of the farmers that she works with at Atlantic Sea Farms. Having some tasty snacks, having a couple great drinks.
Offshore, I get beat up. I throw up every time I go offshore. Catching tuna or something, man, I'm chumming the whole time. You know? Yeah, you boys probably got lead stomachs by now, huh?
We've been growing mussels since 2010, and actually we've been growing kelp since 2011, so quite a long time.
Right. Doing extensive, like a symbiotic kind of relationship with the kelp when it grows.
Yeah. So they both do different things in the water, but when you grow them close to each other, they end up benefiting from each other. The kelp can help improve the water chemistry, and the mussels benefit from that directly, and they grow bigger and faster.
You do a bit of helping as well? Or no?
Lobsters and scallops.
Okay, scallops, heavy accent.
We're fortunate that kelp fits the slowest time of year.
Right.
There's a lot of maintenance, there's a lot of work. Busiest time of year is our absolute lowest income time of year and our least amount of work that we have going on for
Sure.
lobster. It is a suspended aquaculture thing that doesn't interfere with our other fishes. We don't have to put our kelp farm where we set traps. We don't have to put the kelp where we tow for scallops. It opens up something for us without getting in the way of anything else. There's a nice balance there.
Yeah.
Still says scallop.
Scallops.
I was thinking the same thing.
How do you say it again? Say it again.
Scallop.
Scallops.
Like you have to like swallow it.
Scallop.
There you go.
Scallop.
You just had it, yeah.
Scallop. I get there. I'm from New Jersey. I speak poor English.
When Justin took it on, there was 2 other fishermen in the entire state that were doing it. It was like, that's a huge leap of faith.
And it's hard work, right?
It's hard work, but it's rewarding. You can see at the end of the day, you look in the tank and you're like, oh, we accomplished something.
Yeah, we got
That's
some.
what
Yeah, we
did.
caught some stuff.
You know, fish, lobster, that's the obvious stuff that they're really good at. But being able to adapt, evolve, and grow into this new market, and the passion for what they do, the passion for the environment, it's hard not to fall in love with these guys. One thing I'm absolutely blown away by with the farming of kelp is how much sense it makes to grow it. There's no watering needed, there's no fertilization. You put it in clean waters and it comes out a clean, beautiful product. Pulling carbon from the air, putting it back into the system. It's a win-win situation for everyone. Now, Bri's not your typical CEO. When I met her at the dock, she came off looking like she was working on the boat, just full of personality, but has that scientific passion, background, and skill set to make her business that she runs today. Good for you, good for the planet. I just can't count myself. So stay tuned for the next episode of Makin. Bri and I are going to head back to her farmhouse with our cooler full of fresh kelp and make some of our favorite recipes together.
Yeah,
Well, it's nice though.
it is.
Christmas Christ, you're cut off, Bri. All right?